I'm really excited to share some of my favourite e-bike accessories with you today, from functional to creative to family based. I'm sure they'll make your biking experience even better. Let's go. Hi folks, welcome back to the channel, and I've had my Cowboy 4 e-bike for about 6 months now, and considering I'd not owned a bike for about 20 years, I've been having so much fun zipping around my city. And whilst this bike came with a bunch of free accessories, namely a kickstand, a rear rack, a bell and some light, I've been busy over these 6 months testing out and adding on a bunch of accessories, and I wanted to share some of my favourite ones with you. And of course it would be a bit odd if I didn't start with tech. So one of the really cool things about this bike is that it's got integrated quad lock mounting right here on the handlebars, but this does mean you will need a quad lock compatible case. So this is the one that I picked out for my iPhone 13 Pro Max, and it is pretty indestructible whilst allowing the wireless charging to operate without any issues. So next up, I've got my smart helmet from Unit 1. So this is their FARO Helmet, and it has a bunch of built-in lights that help keep you safe and seen when you're out and about, especially in these dark winter months. Now you can customize all sorts about this helmet, including the lights, the colors, how they're activated, and in fact I made an entire review of this helmet which you can check out up at the link above. So the helmet also comes with this indicator set as an optional extra. Now this straps onto your handlebars and connects wirelessly to the helmet, so it allows you to signal turns to traffic behind you via an eye-catching sweep of the light array that sits on the back of the helmet. And the folks at Unit 1 have let me have a 20% discount off any of their products which you can use on their site. Just check the link in the description below for more. And then finally, you might be wondering how I capture some of those impossible drone style shots in the B-roll for this video and also the original bike review video that I made. So this is with my Insta360 X3 camera, which itself comes with a bunch of accessories, including this magical, invisible and extendable selfie stick. So sometimes I ride along with this in my hands, which is how I get these kind of ground up hero shots of the bike, or maybe from the side. And I've also recently started using the Insta360 bike clamp, which means you can ride a little bit more safely with both hands on the handlebars and then adjust the camera to stay fixed in whatever angle you want. To be honest, I probably should make a whole video on this little camera because it is packed full of features and the editing software is a breeze to use. Maybe I'll get around to that one of these days. Next, let's look at some gear. As I mentioned in the video introduction, I haven't actually owned a bike since I was a teenager, so I didn't have on hand any dedicated bike gear. And whilst e-bike rides aren't exactly taxing, it is helpful to have some dedicated gear that can help make your rides that much more comfortable. So I bought a bunch of things that help out, including this reflective lightweight jacket and a colour matching snood or balaclava thingy. It's actually really surprising how cold it can get around your face and ears, especially if you're riding along at 60 miles an hour, and especially if you haven't got an awful lot of hair on your head like me. And then I also have a couple of sets of gloves that I've been using. These ones from Trendo are on most of the time. They're windproof, thermal, and they work with touchscreens, which is great for this particular bike setup. They're also quite snug fitting, which makes it easy to fiddle with any other accessories without needing to take them off. So the only thing they're not is waterproof. So I also have these gloves from Boardman, which are also waterproof and just much thicker. I tend to keep these out for wet weather, snow, and any sub-zero conditions that I might be riding in. Another piece that I've really found helpful is this 17-litre Thule pannier rack, which contains a padded laptop sleeve and clips on really easily like so. So when you arrive at your destination, you just pull this cord and it unhooks the two clips. You can then clip on this strap, which allows you to sling the bag over your shoulder like a normal-ish messenger bag when you need to. To be perfectly honest, it could be a bit bigger, but it is a really nice way of ensuring you don't have to ride about with a rucksack on, especially if you've got a heavy laptop and or camera gear in your bag, which I usually have. So let's move on to safety, and another accessory that I found really essential is this bike lock from Abus. So as I mentioned in my initial Cowboy review, the bike does have a form of theft detection built in, as well as a version of an engine immobilizer for the electric motor, but this doesn't render the bike unusable. So it is important to keep your bike safe when you're out and about, and this lock gives me total peace of mind knowing my e-bike is safe when I'm parked up. So the reason I chose this one is that it comes with a textile sleeve that protects your bike's paintwork. So I usually just wrap this around the seat post when I'm riding, as it's a bit big and it's a bit heavy to fit in a bag. So it's important to me that it doesn't scratch the paint or damage the lights when I'm storing it like this. So next up, we have an essential gadget that can fit into your bag, which is a battery powered tyre inflator. So these tyres from Cowboy are custom made and designed to be puncture resistant, but you never know when you might need to top up or run into a puncture. So let's finish off with family themed accessories, and the most recent addition to my bike setup has been this child seat carrier from Thule. This is the Yep Next Maxi, and it fits the Cowboy like a dream. I also think the design of the seat blends really nicely with the e-bike too. So our 2-year-old has been absolutely loving zipping around on the back of my bike, and it is super easy to fit thanks to this lock or grip mechanism. You just turn the key and you can get the seat to grip onto the pannier rack by turning this dial, and without the key it can't be removed or loosened. You then loop this cord around the seat post and then you're good to go. And it's just as easy to take off when you don't need to carry the seat with you. So when it's time to set off, these straps do fasten magnetically, so you don't have to faff around too much when your little one is on the bike. In fact, I was able to film this little bit of B-roll and get my wriggly daughter fastened in totally one-handed. It's pretty lightweight, but I'm sure it's very comfy and secure, and it can take children up to a weight of 22 kilograms. So this should easily grow with your baby or toddler, certainly until they're old enough to ride along with you. So those are just a few of my favorite e-bike accessories that make my rides more enjoyable, creative and safe. And if you're looking to support the channel, do consider purchasing via one of those links, as I may get a little kickback, which will help me develop new and future video ideas. And of course, if you've got any questions or thoughts about any of these products, just let me know down there in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this one, do be sure and leave a like before you leave. And if you'd like to see more like this, maybe even a cheeky subscribe. I'll see you next time.